from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
This is your president speaking. And I approve this message.
Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. We are the Vegas Raiders. Just win, baby. Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we still committed. So if you wanna be sinners, you can come and get it. Vegas Raiders.
I'm live right now. Oh, hey everybody. And I'm close the door. Hello. What is happy Tuesday? Yeah, it's trash day. It wasn't booked there, so bummed. So we have all this extra stuff I want to throw out, but happy Tuesday, everybody. I have officially been home a week and sober for a week. Doesn't sound like it since I can't speak, but yeah, today is, well, it kind of depends on the way you look at it, because like I stopped drinking Tuesday when I was in Manhattan. So I technically drank last Tuesday, but tomorrow was like I started like Wednesday morning, but also kind of Tuesday afternoon, because I got drunk that morning in New York, and then I haven't drank since. So, but crazy news, I'm going back to New York like much sooner than I thought. Yeah, we just booked my flight.
Triggerman donated $1.99.
Oh, thank you. Hey, let me do that. Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Thank you, Johnny Triggerman. Thank you so much. We appreciate any little donations, you guys. It means a lot to us. I'm not watching the comments because a Mets game is about to start. So I'm going to be watching that and talking to you guys a little bit. But Richard came on earlier, and I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. He just ended it. I would have, but he said I will do it later. And then he ended up napping. We got busy. We were doing some things. And so I was like, you know what? I better do it before the game, because you guys know me, I'll fall asleep. But anyways, I'm going back to New York September 4th. Yeah, so that's in like 16 days or something like that, like 15 or 16 days. So here's the deal. I am really focused on like getting myself as healthy as I can before I go. So it has really kicked me into gear of like making sure I don't stumble on my diet, or because I'm trying to do the keto diet right now. The protein and the no alcohol. So the protein and water, and I've been doing good. So I now, even like since I'm going sooner, which is like 2 weeks, then I'm even more like, okay, cool, I'm gonna stick with this, because like I really want to get as healthy as I can before I get to New York. Since I might end up drinking again. But I was looking at my photos from my last trip, and I'm like, if I would just not drink, it'd be better. And I one of these trips I won't. I know, I can see I'm kind of like weaning myself off of it, because each time I kind of like look at the stupid things I did and how dumb I look, even, you know, like I can see the difference in the photos when I'm sober and when I'm not. And I look so much better. Like I just make stupid faces, weird stuff. I don't know, but so I could literally see at the beginning of my trip, like before I drank, like I looked so much better, and then I see like all the rest of the photos, like it got downhill, and like towards the end of the trip, it's like I didn't even barely want to take photos because it was bad. And I like taking photos. I like taking daily photos, but I don't know. I hope I stay strong in New York, but I am excited to go back, even though I thought I was going to go in October. So this is what happened. I knew I was going to go back in October. I thought it was going to be like mid-October, because I have a client here in Vegas who's going out of town for about a month. And so I said, you know what, let me kind of coordinate that to line up, because it's a client I see regularly. But when we started looking at October, that's like the most expensive time, October and like December, to go to Manhattan. And I was like, do I really have to go in October? I was like, no. And then I was like, wait, should I go sooner? Like, because I was like, you know, I mean, I worked last night. I mean, Vegas isn't like nothing, but it's definitely doesn't make you feel comfortable. Like you don't know, you know, if you're gonna work or not. Whereas in New York, I'm always working for the most part. I mean, I have like maybe 1 or 2 days off, you know, at most when I'm there, and not even usually, you know, because it's just busy. But here it's so unpredictable. So I was like, you know what? I probably should go sooner, because I was like, okay, because I'm gonna go in November. This is what happened too, because I'm like, okay, I can't go in October maybe I'm gonna go in November because I like going in November. But then I was like, that's like really far away, and like I don't know, we might get behind on our bills before then with Vegas the way it is. So I was like, well then I might need to go sooner. So then we started looking at September, and then I was thinking like mid-September, but it looked like mid-September to end of September is actually expensive too. So you know, I mean, we don't go when it's the cheapest, but we also evaluate the rates of the rooms because I have to pay for my own hotels. And this time it's not going to be on credit, so we're still paying off for the last trip. But that we knew that was going to happen. But that just was helpful, you know, to be able to do that. But this trip, I had to pay all out of pocket. Sorry, go back into me. Hard to eat your own back. So, yeah, so we had to pay, but we already actually made a payment towards that last trip, and it's a 6-month thing. But this time it's all going to be out of pocket. So I want to make sure I'm not going when it's like insanely expensive, because there are certain months. October and December seem to be like the most expensive. So I'm going to go in September and November instead. So Richard literally just booked my flights. I told him to do it. It's only $99, so it's only one way because we only booked the one way because sometimes I don't know the exact day I want to come back. So I usually either book it like right before I leave if I've kind of figured it out by then, or like when I'm already in New York the way back. So, but I'm excited actually. I mean, at first I was like, oh, that's pretty soon in my mind, but then I was like, you know, it's going to be a good 3 weeks of me being healthy, which isn't a huge amount of time, but it also isn't a tiny amount of time. And that was about the same as last time, too. I was like almost exactly the same. And I'm not saying I did fabulous last time on, you know, yelling at people a couple times, but it actually was a very successful trip. And I think I'm going to drink less. And I'd love if I just stopped drinking, and I will one of these trips. Like I can already see, I'm kind of like I'm smart enough to kind of like see things, you know, like I'll notice trends of like, oh, I think it's fine, but then I'll be like, no, you know, then I'll notice like start to like look worse, you know. So I also like looking good. So I'm not stupid enough to just like let the alcohol take over and be just like let myself go. So it's like I don't know even know if I'll drink this trip. Hopefully not. But oh my gosh, it could be started. Soda's up. Playing Walgreens. I teased the Washington Nationals have. Huh?
I might go ahead and pay for it now. I think that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, do it.
Great.
Okay, do it.
I'm all about the financing.
Yeah, do it.
What's going on there?
The Walgreens are pitching.
Walgreens. The Walgreens.
Washington Nationals is a Walgreens thing. I
Jared
don't know
is
how
here,
it's
by the
not.
way.
Hey, Jared knows what I'm talking about. I don't know how it's not Walgreens. I'm like, I hope their sponsor is Walgreens because they're like literally advertising for Walgreens every time they get their Walgreens uniforms and then they got their ridiculous like gray with a pink flower. I go, oh man, it must suck to be a Washington National. Those costumes, those outfits are terrible. The New York has good ones. Oh yeah. Not the Mets. I like the Mets. They have one that isn't even their colors. It's like purple and stuff and black, but that's their like fun one. But they have some really good uniforms. I have a jersey. I got my Alonso jersey. So this trip, I might have to not bring some of my fun things. Like I want to bring my like Mets stuff, but then I'm like, I really need to just bring what's gonna fit in my bag because it's gonna be a little bit colder. So I need to bring a little bit of, colder. Oh my gosh. I just got my ticket.
No, give you a little warning when you have to check in.
You mean like right there? I know, don't tell them. Yeah. Well, you guys already know. I already said September 4th.
Okay, Triggerman's very upset you have to go so soon.
Oh, don't be upset, because here's the thing. It almost is easier to kind of keep going than to, like, have a longer span, because I'm not going to go forever. That's what I keep trying to explain. You guys think I'm an old lady, and I keep going to New York every other month. And just for this year and maybe next year. And so it's almost easier to kind of keep the routine, whereas here, I get in such a different routine. Like, it's almost like easier if it's like, oh my gosh, look at that cutie. Oh my god, my buddy is just the cutest. Oh gosh. He's doing like, Casper does this thing where he like rolls on his side and then he like rolls and he's just like, I can't describe how cute he is. I will miss my bunny and I'll miss my family.
What's he doing?
He's doing his little roll thing. He's not now, because as soon as you bring out the camera, he won't do it. But he was doing where he's rolling on his back and just stretching and
So what's the latest news for the short hair?
Oh, so I'm going to New York September 4th. We just booked the ticket. It's probably September 4th through September 16th or something like that. So, yeah.
Oh,
I'm actually...
are we giving out the dates? I didn't know.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter because you guys are going to figure it out. Like, you know what I'm going to be, like, talking about. And it takes over my life for the next, like, 2 weeks. So it's kind of hard for me to not really talk about that I'm going to New York. Be like, oh, yeah, I was going to, oh, now then, you know, like, it's kind of the focus now. And, you know, there's a part of me that's, like, feels bad almost in the sense of, like, because I don't want to leave again. Like, I don't, like, I almost more bad for them, not for me, but just, like, because, like, I keep leaving and everyone just has to sit back behind. More like that, where it's almost like this guilty thing where, because even though it's a lot of work, it's also, you know, I get to go to New York City where they have to just stay here. So I feel a little bit of, like, almost like, oh gosh, I'm going again. I don't want to leave you guys again. But I do think it ultimately right now it's what's necessary for our family. And I think since it's happening, it must be what we need. You know, I think during those times it's good for Gloria and Richard and Annette to have time together too, because they are the blood family, and, you know, I can be overbearing. I haven't been lately, but, you know, I have been in the past. So I think it's good, you know, for them to have that time. I definitely would not like if right now you guys say, well, I wouldn't really like if Richard was the one going, even though I'd be great for him in the sense of it'd be more fun probably for him. But then, like, he wouldn't be getting to spend the time with his mom and sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not really, I mean, they're my family now, but they're not my blood mom and sister. So, and Gloria is 82, and she, you know, she is getting very sick lately. I mean, she's, like, you know, sicker lately. I mean, she's doing all right, but she's, you know, sicker each day, not more energy, I'd say less energy each day as she gets older. So, and then Annette really needed the time with her brother, and I love Annette. I mean, we love spending time together, but that's her brother. So it's kind of like it needs to be me, you know what I mean? And yeah, Richard does want to get a job, and he's looking into that, but it's like I'm very restrictive on, you know, what I want him to do, because I don't really want him gone much. Because then it's just me hanging with his mom and sister, which is fine. And eventually, it probably will be me and Annette at the end of the day, because we're the youngest together. You know, like we, you know, probably will outlive Richard and Gloria even. So it will eventually just be me and Annette. But I want for her now, her to have a time with her brother and mom. You know what I mean? So I think it's a really precious time they get together. And it wouldn't have happened in any kind of, if we had done any other kind of job, because we would have just tried to give them money, like what we were doing, but that wasn't helping. Or we would have tried to, you know, hire someone, but Gloria wasn't really receptive to having, you know, like people come in and clean the house or, you know, take care of Annette in any way like that. So it kind of had to be us. And it's a weird situation, but it really does work. But it is hard sometimes, the contrast, but I think that's maybe why I'm going so often, so that it kind of keeps shaking me up, so I'm not, like, getting too comfortable or even too bored in one setting. It's like, because I am trying to ultimately get over all of my addictions, and I know going to New York seems like it keeps bringing it up, but they never really were fully gone. I just was avoiding them, you know, like I was just avoiding alcohol, and then I was just avoiding most foods. But it doesn't really deal with, you know, the reason why you're doing those things. So I think every time I go there and I kind of bring up this stuff, and I do get emotional, and people, oh my God. But I think it's important. And, you know, I'm hoping one of these trips, or maybe even part of the trip, I decide to like stop drinking, you know, or not start drinking. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get to New York. It's just a very different ballpark as I'm watching the Mets. It really is. Like here, I can validly say I'm going to be strong for the next 2 weeks. Once I get to New York, it's like literally like it's so hard for me to say. One thing is everything is different there, like in the sense of like I never know, like my clients' load is like every situation is so different, so I'm put in very different situations. So sometimes it's like, oh, do you want to go to dinner and have cocktails and stuff, and immediately that might be something I'm, you know, put in front of, whereas that might not happen right away, or, you know, just certain things occur there that are unpredictable, so I don't know. But I do know I already have an appointment the day after I arrive. That's why I kind of said, let's book that flight, because what I do is I contact a couple of the people that I see regularly when I go there, and, you know, make sure they're there, because people travel. Last time, the one guy had to see me that first night because he was traveling, but he is going to be there. And then this other gentleman who always sees me, like, he wants to see me the day I arrive, but I'm like, you see me the next day. So he'll see me the next day. And then I'll just, I only texted 2 people so far about it. They already said, yeah, I'll be there. And I was like, okay, that's enough for now. And then I need to text everyone else. But just hearing that those 2 people, then I kind of, and then just like, we just kind of like, we just our feelings of like what dates to do according to like, I'll usually text like a handful of people just to see if they're there. And then most of the people are there regularly, but some people travel. And then we look at the price of the rooms and the price of the airfare and stuff, and kind of like not necessarily pick like the cheapest time, because that might not be good for business, but not necessarily the most expensive time either, because that just makes it tougher, because then I have to have such a expense for my room every day, and then I need to, you know, work so much more on top of that. So, because I'm trying to, you know, bring money home, not spend it while I'm in New York. So, but I am excited. Like the idea of like waiting to November felt entirely too long. Like I was like, no, I think I need to go before then. Like I thought it was gonna be October, but then now when I think about that, maybe even it's a little too far, because I feel like what was gonna happen is okay, he keeps taking my headphones. What's going over there? That'll be one nice thing when I'm in New York, because our phones are connected. So when we're near each other, they just get all messed up. When I'm in New York, that doesn't happen to me because it's just my phone. But here we have like 3 phones and a laptop, and so the headphones will try to connect all the different devices. It drives me nuts. Like it just connected over. Richard was over there. And he took my headphones. Like I'll hear he'll be playing a video on his phone, and I'm like, ah. But anyways, he actually has let me borrow his phone. I still have it. I'm going to still use his. So we have like switched phones, but we actually have 3 phones, but one of them it doesn't have, it's an old phone. It doesn't have like a actual cell number. It's just, you know, phone for like Wi-Fi. But anyways, I am excited to go. Like I'm not thinking it's too soon. Like for a second I did, but then I don't know, like it's kind of like I say, we trust our feelings, and so it just kind of felt like everything was lining up. So I'm like, let's go. But I'm a little bit nervous about the fact that I am not fully bouncing back with my health. Like I feel like each time I kind of like don't get fully back, because I was like kind of like getting there but not fully, and then I kind of go, and so it's like it's kind of like this downward, slow downward thing, but it's going like where it's going down, and then I kind of bounce back up a little bit, but then it goes down a little more, and it's like, but then I look at like what I thought was like the best peak health, and I realized like I was probably too thin. So I don't know. I'm kind of just like, I don't know, just letting my body find its way a little bit in the midst of having to deal with all the like traveling and stuff, because it is much harder to stay on a rigid diet when you travel, or when you're just in another city and staying in hotels and stuff. So, because I like to, cook my burgers, and I'm very particular. I like my 93.7 or my 90.10, and I like it without oil, and just very particular things, and no condiments or anything. And even my water, like I like spring water. I always do like either purified water or like a sparkling water or something. And it's like neither of those. I don't like the carbonation I want like the minerals. So spring water has minerals and purified doesn't. And so I'm like so particular, even like on the plate. Why? I'll take a Dasani, sure. I want my Arrowhead or my Poland Spring. I'm not that picky. It's just spring water, but I don't like purified water. So, but then I'll go drink out of the water fountain. Oh, forget it. But I will drink the water in New York from the faucet. They say it's pretty good. It tastes fine to me. They say it's actually very good for the people there because, it's good enough for the people there to drink because a lot of people can't afford to buy like bottled water. So it has to be like safe. We're here in Vegas. I would not recommend drinking our tap water. No, thank you. What do we have? Okay, top of the second. No one has scored. Oh, they don't have their Walgreens outfits on today. They just have their Walgreens symbol. They have on their black outfits today. Sometimes they have one that has a big old Walgreens thing, but their symbol is a Walgreens thing. All right, so yeah, I'm watching the Mets and the Nationals. But yeah, so I'm going to New York in about 15 or 16 days, somewhere around there. It's on the 4th, whatever that is from now. And I think it's 15 days. It's weird because I started packing today before I knew I was going. So I thought I was still going like around like October 15th because we hadn't really looked. I was thinking that was the date in my head. But we hadn't actually really like looked into we always look into the airfare and the hotels and stuff before we pick a date for sure. But I always like kind of get dates in my head, like, oh, let me check out this date. So, but earlier today, like I started like really packing all of a sudden, like all my toiletries, like, cause I have like some redundant toiletries.
Amanda Pandas.
Oh, hey, Amanda Panda. Hey,
Amanda.
Oh, so good to hear from you, Amanda.
And BB said, wow, you're going back really soon.
I know. It's gonna be like 3 weeks and I'm back. Wait, yeah, it'll be 3 weeks because I'm only a week from being in New York, and then it's gonna be like 2 more weeks. Yeah, so it'll be like 3 weeks. So it's basically been like every other month lately, a lot. But I thought it was going to be...
Alvarez is injured.
Yeah, he got injured. I actually was thinking I wanted it to be 2 months. But when I think about it, like, I think the more I kind of sit around thinking about going, like, it's almost better... Because, like I said, I'm not going to go forever. So it's almost better while I'm going to go more steadily than to, like, come here and kind of, like, sit around and be like, I don't know when I'm going back. And then be like, oh, it could be whatever. And then, or just be kind of like, okay, I know when I'm going, and have it be, like, a more almost, like, routine thing. It's kind of becoming a little bit almost easier that way, being a little bit more, like, I just go and stuff. But I am a little bit irritated with the fact that I've kind of let myself go a little bit, you know what I mean? Because I could look better if I would stop drinking when I'm in New York. So it's kind of like all my own fault. And so I am beating myself up about that a lot because it's just like, Joy, just like pull it together and just be healthy like you are in Vegas and like you have been for so many years, So that's a little bit of a struggle with me when like the thought of going so soon, I'm already like, oh no, I have to deal with that again.
Listen, D Major has to know. Do you like nacho cheese? He has to know. Do you like nacho cheese?
Not really, no. I wouldn't say it's something I like really like. Wouldn't say I hate it, but I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't be
Is
like,
the nacho cheese in New York City better than the nacho cheese at 7-Eleven?
oh, I've never had the nacho cheese in New York City. I couldn't answer that.
Okay.
Can you zoom me out just a little bit? I'm old lady, can't be that close.
No, that's so zoomed in. Sorry, lady. There, Bear. I like it with the little picture above you.
There you go. I'm an old lady with wrinkles. Can't be zooming in that close. I mean, if I was young, I'd have it all close like you guys do. But I never had the nachos in New York on any level. Now that I think about it, like
I
I'm.
date an Asian guy. Never mind, skip that question.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm thinking about like, are nachos a thing in New York City? Because
I don't know. I mean,
I'm trying to like envision
I
like.
hear nachos are amazing.
No, but I'm trying to envision like, are they at those stands? Because I know they have pretzels and they have hot dogs, but do they have nachos?
Where do you get the best nachos?
I never even
noticed
noticed that, to be honest.
Where's the best nacho cheese?
It wasn't something I was looking
Which
into.
city have you had it in, and what do we look for?
You know, when we first went to New York, we were super health nuts, like we're trying to be
God,
now.
it was so bad.
But we were insane then, where it was like we didn't have anything but our organic beef burgers and water. And Richard would have some organic chicken and some organic mustard. But I would only have the beef burgers when we got to New York. And we did that for like 6 months. And we got way too thin. We were looking at a video recently. We were like, whoa. And this was like, we were fully sober. We were just not eating enough. Because in New York, you exercise so much just by walking around. And it was cold, you know, so you just burned so many calories. But we were so nuts about it. Like, we would not eat anything off our diet. I mean, it was like insane. And when I look back, I'm like, I don't think I looked that healthy. But we felt really healthy. You know what I mean? Like, so there is a balance, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying drinking is a good idea. That's definitely not helpful. But I do think we were a little bit too nutty with our diet over the years. And in New York City, we did that for 6 months. And then the last 6 months, we kind of experienced some stuff, but you know, the stuff's expensive. And towards the last 6 months, we had less money than the first 6 months, I would say. So it was just, you know, I don't know, we kind of just ate things that made sense. Like we ate a lot of halal because it was like $10 and it was, you know, you have the rice and you get the protein. So I remember we just didn't really, I did eat like things like milkshakes, which weren't helpful. But yeah, I don't remember ever trying to experience nachos. We had pizza. And now when I go, I try to avoid things like that. I'm not trying to eat a bunch of junk food. So I do sometimes cave in on a little pizza. But I usually only do like once or twice because I'm just not that into it. I'm not that into the junk food anymore. But really hoping that I could stay on my protein and not drink on one of these trips. It's going to happen on one of these trips. Don't know if it's going to be this one. Fingers crossed. But I know I'm going to be able to stay sober for the next 15 days. That's going to be very easy for me. Like, it's almost like giving me a good incentive of, like, I want to get healthy before I go to New York. Like, I don't want to be, like, looking terrible before I go to New York. And then when I go to New York, like, even look worse. It's like,
what's your thought on protein shakes? We went through that phase.
The thing with protein shakes is it's all liquid. So
could they help you though?
It really would depend on the situation that you were in. But like for me, no, I'm not going to do protein shakes because they are all liquid. So what happens when I say they're all liquid is your body doesn't really like have any chance to digest it. It just kind of all gets, anything extra just gets converted to sugar and then fat. Because what you want, actually, even though I do struggle with digestive issues, you do want things that are a little bit harder to digest. Like protein, meat, you have to break that down.
Amanda has noticed that your hair has gotten significantly longer since.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's not healthy right now, but thank you, Amanda.
I think it looks great.
I'm really trying to be healthy. Right now, but I think the drinking like a week ago for 2 weeks and then maybe drinking again in 2 weeks is not making me look the best I can look. But I'm trying to be okay with not always needing to be perfect, you know, and kind of like being just comfortable with myself in different, you know, realms of my life, in the sense of like, yes, there was a phase that I had a rock hard abs, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's over because I'll probably get back there if I stay on my keto long enough. But I'm like, I don't know if I really feel I need that right this time in my life too, because sometimes it's also like, it's not always the most attractive on women. I don't know. Sometimes you want a little bit more soft, but not too soft. So it's like, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I look at all my old photos and I see there's times when I liked my body and times I didn't as much. But throughout all the times, I kind of just try to embrace the different times. Like I laugh at myself at certain times when I wasn't looking as good. And then I'll see the times that I was unhealthy, you know, especially like when I was doing an eating disorder and I can see, well, I was way too thin, you know. And so I don't know. Yeah, just kind of embracing. I'm 40 and I'm going through different aspects because it's very easy if you're home in your routine to stay on your diet and
I think what's also interesting, people are wondering why you're going back. So first of all, if Vegas was Vegas, then you know this.
Oh yeah,
this is
like
how we've been doing it
Vegas
for 20 years.
pre-pandemic,
Yeah,
I would have
is-
never even gone to New York.
Yeah.
That's kind of the most
They
beautiful
keep
thing
promising each
that
year.
came from the pandemic is me getting to experience New York because I'm actually happy I get to go to New York because there was never any reason for us to leave Vegas, not even for a day. I mean, Vegas was so busy, so solid with business. I wouldn't even like to leave we left for a weekend and we were like, why did we do that? Because it was like, I'd get so many calls of people, you know, that I already knew, so you already know, you know, that's solid money coming in. It's not even conversation, just are you available now, you know? And so we just would never leave because it just never made sense. And I did well and I worked when I felt like it. Like it was like I could work in the morning and then have the rest of the day off if I wanted to. You know, it was, certain times of year were not as good. Like summer was always a little dicey. But most of the year was just fantastic. And then the pandemic hit and it was just like 100% the opposite of that. And so New York was the only place that we could survive during the pandemic if I wanted to do this job. And I didn't want to change during the pandemic to any other job. I'll become a delivery driver or something. I mean, we considered it. But I don't know, it got me to New York, and going to New York has been the coolest experience of my life, and I do like going. And I am looking forward to going, even though it's in 2 weeks. And it's not in that looking forward of like, oh, I'm so happy to get away from my family, not on any level, because I really miss my family, and I miss my little bunny over here. But it's just you know, it is what it is right now, like it's just a part of my life, and so it's like, okay, I'm going back to New York, all right, I can deal with that, and then when I get home, I'll deal with the aftermath of my New York trip again. It's just kind of like becoming like just my routine right now, if that makes sense. And it won't be forever because it's pretty strenuous routine to keep up for very long. But right now I'm kind of in a weird way kind of enjoying it. It's just like, all right, that's just what I'm doing. I'm going and I'm trying my best to not act a fool in New York and then come home and then kind of relax for about a week and then kind of get back into gear of kind of like, okay, gonna get ready for my next New York trip, and you know, and I have been working a little bit in Vegas, but it's just so inconsistent here. So we couldn't survive had I not gone to New York. We'd already be so in the hole. It'd be insane. So I thought about going in October, but like I said, it just didn't pan out financially. So then it was either September or November, and then it's like, actually, I need to do both. So it's gonna be September, and then not October, then November again, and then not December, then probably January. And then who knows after that. But I think it'll definitely be probably September, November, January. That's as far as I was thinking it ahead. I don't really know. Maybe that could be the end of going to New York. That's kind of where my brain has definitely gone of like, I definitely think those months I'm going to go for sure. And I kind of came up with that. I'm the one that says it, not Richard. Richard's always like, no, don't go back, don't go back. I'm like, no, it's time. I even told him, I was like, book the flight, it's time. I have to go. Like, because I just kind of get a sense. I've been in this job a long time, and it's kind of how I do it is because I get senses of things, and I can kind of tell. Like, I mean, I worked last night, but it was like, you know, it's just, you can't, well, you just can't rely on it here. I mean, it's like, and you work like once every couple of days. It's just not enough to survive. So going to New York, it's just very consistent. And when I lived there, it was so consistent. I mean, it was too consistent. It was too much, you know, and I couldn't keep up with the pace. It was just like so much work availability there for me, but I just like, I couldn't handle it, you know. So visiting for 2 weeks is about as much as I can handle, but then I get like 3 weeks off, basically. I mean, because coming to Vegas is almost like now like 3 weeks off. Because even if I work here, it's so different than New York. So it's so minimal in comparison. Like We went out I went out once last night and came home, went to bed. It was, whereas in New York, it's like I try to work as much as I can because I'm there for 2 weeks. So it's kind of like it's almost like a fireman where you're on for 2 weeks now. For 2
coming
weeks.
to Vegas next week.
Oh,
Son just said.
cool. Welcome back, Grace.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, so I'm gonna have like 2 weeks on and then like 3 weeks off, like 2 weeks on, 3 weeks off.
I'll hit her up on Discord.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, I'm okay with it actually. I didn't want it to be November the first time. Like that wasn't gonna work. I was like, no, that's not gonna work. Like I can just foresee I'm just gonna be sitting here, twiddling my thumbs and there's gonna be no business. And then we're gonna go into debt. And then so it's just like, no, it can't be all the way in November. It has to be either September or October. And since it can't be October, well, it's gotta be September. And then we're like at September, I was like, okay, maybe, end of September. No, that's almost as bad as October. All right, we get it in September. So, and then I started asking, like I said, I already asked 2 people and they said, definitely, they'll see me like that first 2 or 3 days there. And that's just the first 2 people I texted. Sounds like a long list of people I need to text. But I actually, so what I was saying is I started packing like all of a sudden today. Like before I knew I was going to go in September, I thought I was still going in October, and I was like, it's a little early for me to pack my toiletries. But when I have like redundant toiletries, like I have some redundant ones because I've been going to New York. So like I have redundant like of my Frisbee gone, or like redundant of my face cream or something because like I leave it for Rich, or like redundant of my deodorant or things, because some things or I have little ones, like little deodorants for New York. I have a big deodorant for things like that. But since I've been going so often, I'll just keep some of the stuff already packed. But I had unpacked a lot of the stuff, and then I just today was like, I should start putting all this stuff back in my suitcase. And I did. I packed like so much stuff today. And then I didn't know that it was going to be September, so I was like, yeah, that's kind of interesting, because I started packing again today. And then Casper was getting a little worked up because he saw me bring out the blue suitcase, which he kind of knows that means I'm leaving. So he starts like running around me and stuff. I need all this attention. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's the right time to go. And
Hey, Yolanda.
if anything, the fact it's sooner kind of really kicks my butt into gear of like, I really want to make sure I do not like falter on my diet in the next 15 days or the alcohol, because like there's a good chance I'm going to mess up when I'm in New York. So I might as well start with a base of health before I go there, you know what I mean? Not be like, oh, since I'm going to make a mistake in New York, I might as well like make it. No, because then it's going to be like, I'm never going to be healthy since I'm going so often. So I have to, for these 3 weeks, definitely be healthy. Otherwise, I'm just going to be unhealthy. I'm just going to be unhealthy now. Because I'm not healthy in New York, and if I'm not healthy in Vegas, so I have to have the contrast. And so it makes me take it very seriously since it's close. I'm like, oh gosh, I only have 15 days, so I have to try to get as healthy as I can the next 15 days and not be going there already all feeling like crap. Go there feeling good. Yeah. And going there feeling charged up, of not feeling all tired, and because the problem with me when I eat a lot of sugar is I really get lethargic. So I definitely don't have the energy as much to really I don't know, just get ready for my trip and and be motivated to go on a trip if I'm consuming a lot of sugar or alcohol, which is kind of one and the same, because the alcohol I consume is very sugary. So he's so cute, Casper. The way he just sleeps, he's just the cutest bunny. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys have bunnies. I'm gonna have to argue mine's the cutest. Ooh. But he's just, I don't know, he's just too much sometimes. He really has so much personality, and all of his personalities, in a sense, is good and bad, are just so cute to me. I don't mind if he's being a little Riley monkey, or if he's just being the sweetest, because he's never mean. He just gets feisty sometimes, because he's ornery. But right now he's just being a sweetie. I think he wants attention. He actually, when he wants attention, like he makes himself so cute, so you can't resist petting him. That's what he's doing right now. He keeps looking at me. I think he knows I'm leaving soon. He's really smart. People think that's crazy, but I don't know. If you have pets that you're really close to, I think they get a sense to know, like, if you're leaving or know if you're coming home. Because Richard says he always gets really excited, like, the day I come home. Like, he knows that
listen,
day.
tell them I got you. Lily, I took your advice. Tell them about the surprise. I got you the duffel bag, but then tell them about.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So he did give me that really cool duffel bag, which I'm using already. I actually started packing it. I really like it from last trip. But I told him don't get the suitcase this trip. He was going to order one. I said, you know what, we need to save the money. I'll get it maybe next trip. Because my suitcase is still working. It's just on the front. It broke. It cracked from the, I think I did it actually here in the closet, not even on the trip, because I had jammed it in my closet because there was like this thing here. I'm going to try to fit it under on top of the dresser and under the shelf and everything. But it's still working fine. And so if anything, I kind of get attached to my things too. So I'm kind of not, oh, bless you. Bless you. I'm not really ready to switch suitcases yet. But this one that you get, this one, whoever's told him to get this one actually is really nice. It's really good. This I'm really happy with. And it's much bigger than it seems. So this one he got me last trip. He sent it to my hotel, and then I used it on the way home because my bag had broke. The straps. And this one has a thing you can attach to. This will be, and it has a thing to you attach it to your suitcase, because that's the other one didn't, and it was always fine. But this one seems like it's a small bag, and I was a little bit nervous because I usually use that like duffel bag kind of thing. But this is seeming to fit like everything that the other one did, if not even like maybe better. So this is like a Mary Poppins bag. I'm like really pleased because I'm putting like all of my little have all my little bags. I don't know if you guys have seen me pack before. I have like all these little bags. And they're like all in here. I have like 5 of them. And then the only other thing I think I need to put in this bag probably would be like my shoes. And I'll probably just bring 1 pair. So this is actually going to work because I thought those other bags were much larger. Those other the other duffel bag was, I don't know if you saw, it was that blue and red bag. It seemed like it was a larger bag. But this one is like a Mary Poppins bag because I'm just like really pleased. I was like, oh, that's great because I really enjoyed traveling with that bag home. But I thought it was much smaller. And on the way back, I have my extra bag. So if you guys don't know, on the way there, I refuse to check on a bag because I don't want to deal with carrying that many bags because I take the subway or the LIR, the Long Island Railroad. So I refuse to have 3 bags when I arrive. I don't want to deal with it, and I won't take an Uber. I have a client that even gives me Uber cards, but I usually use it for Uber Eats to get some steak and burgers. But I refuse to do things like that. I'm like, no, I'm going to take public transportation. But then I only want to have carry-ons. But then I'm very limited on what I can bring. And I also don't want to have to buy a bunch of stuff when I first get there. So I want to make sure I'm bringing all of my toiletry kind of things. So I don't want to have to immediately go buy shampoo, conditioner. So I try to, but you can't carry much in these days on carry-ons. But on the way home, I bring this huge duffel bag that folds up in my suitcase. I'll be doing a packing blog pretty soon here. It's getting close. That on the way back, I just pile a bunch of crap in there. So then on the way home, it's no problem. I bring a ton of stuff home. But on the way there is the issue. And I really like this bag because I was worried. Because I had brought it on the way back, but like I said, I had the 3 bags. So I thought that it was kind of all just fit because I had the 3rd bag. But that bag is actually really good. But I didn't want a new suitcase yet because I'm kind of still attached to mine. I like my blue one. My little sweetie. I get attached to my little things. I actually hate when my bags break, even the other one I liked. But this one actually is way better. The other one didn't have a way to stay on the suitcase, so I don't know if you guys travel much and you know what I'm talking about, where now you put this on the back on the thing that and then it doesn't slide around and fall off. Whereas if you don't have that, it keeps falling off as you go into the airport. It's a pain in the ass. And you can always tell the people that travel a lot, they have these nice things that like aren't falling all over, and the people that don't travel a lot are like, you know, fall on every 2 steps. Like I like to be like the flight attendants going through with my bags. So this one is like that, and it's just effortless going through the airport, and so I'm already looking forward to it. I don't know. I think flying is part of why I like going too, because I love flying. You know, I was in the Air Force and I flew very often. You know, you only have to fly twice a month for my job to stay current, but when you're an instructor, you can fly like every other day pretty much. And I flew a lot. And also when you go on trips, so like if you go, so like I went to Ecuador for 2 months, then you can fly pretty much every day. But when you're in the States, you can only fly every other day because you have to mission plan a day in between. But, or not just in the States, when you're at your home base. But a lot of people didn't like flying, but I love flying. So I was always like, I'll fly, I'll go on a trip. So I flew a lot. I flew a lot in my, I guess it was like 3 years of flying because it was the first year, it was just training. So about 3 years of flying, I flew a lot. Probably like 2.5 because the last 6 months I couldn't fly either. So like 2.5 years of flying, I flew a lot. I used to have my flight records, but they got lost in our car in the cave fiasco. They give you all this stuff. That's what everyone was trying to say. I don't have those documents because mine got lost. But I had they give you so many files when you leave the Air Force. You get one for each thing. You get a medical one. You get a personnel one. You get like a flight one if you're a flyer, showing like your hours you flew, and, you know, which missions you went on and stuff. You get one that has like your dog tags and you get a government passport if you, well, I don't know if everyone does, but if you go, you know, out of the country like I did. So I had a government passport. I've had so many passports actually. Because I got my first passport. I don't even know, do you have to have a passport when you're 3? Because the first time I left country I was 3. And then I know I got the first passport that I was aware of when I was 15, when I went to Hong Kong and China. But I don't know if I had a passport when I was a baby.
Do you not want to go back to New York?
Oh, no, I want to. No, I want to. Oh, no, it's not a not want to. No, it's not that. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm trying to think of, like, right now, like, the ideal situation is kind of me going to New York because I don't want this forever. That's what I'm trying to explain is, like, because Richard keeps saying, you know, he wants to get a job, and I'm like, right now, I don't know if I'd want it to be where, like, you're gone and I'm just sitting here all day because I don't know, like, right now I'm kind of going through a lot of, like, personal battles that I think, like, just sitting at home would only make me depressed. So I think this, like, challenge of forcing me to kind of, like, really stretch myself in different ways of, like, you know, even struggling with, you know, being alone and having to deal with, am I going to drink or not drink? Or am I going to, you know, mess up on, you know, my eating disorder, things like that. Like, when I'm home, it's almost like I'm kind of, like, in, like, it's like a safe house kind of thing, you know, like, but that's not really like real life. Well, I mean, I could be my real life in the sense that I never left this house, but the reality is, you know, there's a whole life out there of like where there are temptations and there's things and I think it's kind of forcing me to kind of like grow up a little bit. I think just staying here always, like, we thought that's what we wanted. We thought like we just wanted the channel to be that's what we really thought. And then, but the more we think about it, I think we just wouldn't have ever matured in any way. You know what I mean? And we'd probably still be just yelling at people every 2 seconds. Not that I've fully matured on that. Just yelled at people in New York. But I am trying to get better. And I think each trip I mature. So I think right now I'm actually very, like, kind of, like, honored a little bit that the universe is kind of giving me this opportunity, even in a weird way that most people don't approve of, but like who gets to like experience life like the way where I am, where it's like I'm on the edge of, like, you know, I have to go there, I have to survive, and if I don't, like, my family doesn't survive, and it's just kind of, and it seems like, oh, that's so intense, but it's also like that's like living, you know what I mean? So when I think of like everything just being easy and maybe just like me sitting on my bum all day and, you know, Richard just working and me have nothing to do, it doesn't really seem like something I want. But I can see in a couple years, I'm not going to keep wanting to go at this pace, and I'll be very tired of going on trips to New York. And that's when we'll, you know, evolve into something else. And it might even be real estate or something, I mean, I have a lot of experience with that. But right now, I kind of feel like this is what I want, like in a weird way. Like, and I do feel bad, for messing up the channel, going to New York, but it's also like, I think New York is just our life right now. And so like unless the channel can kind of evolve with us, I don't think like we have to kind of just like do our thing, and I hope like I don't offend people when I go there and if I drink, you know what I mean? But it's like it's one of those things, like I think it's just kind of like the way our life is kind of like the path it's going, and I'm okay with it because it's different and it's interesting, and going to New York is amazing. I mean, I would say about the first week I have the best time. And then the second week, I'm like ready to come home. But I wouldn't want to go for just 1 week because like it doesn't make sense to go for a week. Like you're there already. You like just stay the next week. But I would say like that first week I have a really good time. By the second week, I think I've tired myself out, usually because I've been unhealthy. If I would be healthy, I think I could have a really good 2 weeks. But by the second week, I'm pretty burnt out and ready to come home. But that first week is like always so much fun. And the second week isn't bad. It just gets, each day gets more and more where I'm getting like where I get a little more emotional. I'm really missing my family, and I'm probably drinking too much and not sleeping enough because you don't sleep nearly enough in New York. You don't. It's a city that never sleeps, and I'm someone that sleeps. I don't sleep in New York. It's the weirdest thing. I think it's, honestly for me, the alcohol keeps me up, which is weird. But because at some point it'll knock me out, but then I'll bounce back up and be like I'll knock out. In the middle of the day or something.
The New York trips are just burning you out, though?
I know. I don't think they're burning me out. I do, like, when I first get home, I feel like, oh, my God, I never want to go back. And I tell Richard that. And he's totally open to that because he's not even the one telling me to go on any level. I'm the one saying it. But I'm always like, never again, like the day I'm coming home. But then, like, within, like, 3 days, like I said, like, I was already like, I want to go back to New York. Like, yeah, I was even telling Rich, I was like, I want to go back to New York. And that's when I was like, I think I need to go soon. But I was thinking October. But then now when I think about October, that almost feels like too far away. Like I kind of almost kept thinking October was next month in my mind. Like to me, this already feels like we're in September, but we're still in August. I'm kind of like, when I go to New York, even though it's only a 2 week, it almost feels like a month. So I'm kind of like, when I go there, like I felt like I was in New York for August. So I feel like it's already September. Does that make sense? But so it's kind of just going that way. But no, I'm not upset in any way. And I think Richard's probably more upset than me about me going on this one because it's so soon. But I was kind of the one that initiated it just because, I first said October. But then when we looked at the numbers, October just didn't make sense at all. Like it's the most expensive month of the whole year.
So it's either November.
And so it was like, and there really was no reason for October other than me thinking that's when I was maybe going to line it up with my other client. But the difference in price, it actually makes sense for me to not even see that client, miss that client, and just go to New York another time because it's like that substantially different. It's like thousands of dollars different. And so, it's like, you know what, let's look at September. And then so we were looking at the end of September, but then it was like just still the same kind of numbers. So we don't just go for when it's the cheapest, but we also look into like, you don't go when it's the most expensive either.
Okay,
so it's kind of like, you kind of can use that as a gauge of what dates you pick as you go, okay, you don't necessarily want the cheapest, and that usually doesn't line up anyways with your schedule, because I was thinking of other things too. But then you also don't want to go when it's the most expensive because that's going to be the most stressful for you, and it's not necessarily going to be the most business, because I see a lot of the same people that'll see me every time. So it's like whether I go September or October or November, those people are going to see me, and then I pick up new clients. But every time I usually see a handful of new people, so then I can have even, because you don't always see everybody, but there are a handful of people that would see me every time that I've been going, so it's been making it kind of more consistently easy where I say, okay, I know I'm going to see this person. But also, those numbers don't change. So if I'm paying way more for my hotel, the number with those clients is the same. So it's like I can bring home more money.
Do you think, okay, some of the ladies, some people have a question. So do you drink because the clients want you to drink and party with them, or do you drink because you have to deal with this?
Okay, I drink in New York because I'm an alcoholic, and I have a really hard time not drinking if I'm by myself. So it doesn't really have to do with my job. It more has to do with the fact that I'm all alone in my hotel room. And because I've done it before, and I didn't drink for years doing this job, so it has more to do with, like, if Richard was with me in New York, I wouldn't drink. I really don't do well on my own. That's why, like, you guys are always like, why are you guys always thinking? That's like, if Richard was gone all day, I'd probably be an alcoholic. Like, it's that bad with me. Like, even all the sense that says not to do it, like, if I don't have, like, someone kind of keeping an eye on me, like, I don't care enough for my own health at times. Like, I'm just like, forget it. You know what I mean? And so when I go to New York, it's really because I don't have Richard around, and I'm like, man, I'm just sitting here. Yeah. And I do enjoy when I first start drinking. Like, I'm an alcoholic, so like, woo, you know, and I like, but then by like after 1 week of that, I'm like sick and ill and like, oh, I feel like crap and look like crap, and I'm like, oh, but now I'm like too addicted to stop. So it just becomes, but I'm not mad about it. How do
you feel? Like, I mean, like, is your health getting worse? I mean, you don't like the way you look, but is your health getting worse?
I wouldn't say. I would say I've gotten a little bit out of shape. Like, but that's because I just been sitting on my bum. But alcohol is not good for you. 100% alcohol, I would not recommend for anybody. So it definitely, if you're trying to be healthy, that's the opposite of healthy. It's like you're being healthy and then you're pouring poison down your mouth. But for me, I'm a really bad alcoholic, so I think a little bit of going to New York that keeps me sane is being able to drink, because it is pretty stressful. And so something about like, oh, when I drink, then I can kind of not think about the insane amount of things that are going on. You know what I mean?
Because you're an alcoholic, you enjoy it. It gives you a sense of something.
But it gives me a sense of enjoyment, but then it also kind of eases my brain, because I'm there and I'm a stress case, you know?
You were really super hyper anxious in social situations.
I don't like social situations, so sometimes even having to see clients, I don't like that. So you give me a little bit of alcohol and I'm like, oh, no problem.
Oh, man,
you know, but it's,
yeah,
I'm like, hey, you guys want some pizza? Like, bringing 2 pieces of pizza for myself, and I don't even make it to my room. I'm like, oh, never mind, I didn't need it anyways, you know? And I'm like, I literally give away like anything I get for myself. I figure if I was gonna be bad with it anyways, I'd rather give it to someone else. So, yeah, and people are like, you don't need to give us your food. Oh, don't worry. You know, whatever. Anyways, I'm super friendly, whereas when I'm sober, I'm very antisocial. And so it's not that I need to drink to, you know, socialize with my clients. It's more just like, it's much more enjoyable for me that way. But here, I don't want to drink because it's very destructive if it was an everyday thing for me. Also, here in Vegas, I don't know why, I've always had a very bad experience drinking here. I've never really had a good experience drinking in Vegas, like to where it was in any way enjoyable. It's just always been, like in Panama, we had some good times. Portland, we had some good times, but never in Vegas. It was always just, I don't know, something about it's so dry here that I just get dehydrated in a second. I get really ill. It's just been horrible. Yeah, with the alcohol in Vegas. Yeah, it's just it's something, I don't know, you had elevation here. But in New York, I get sick too, but not nearly as sick as I've ever gotten in Vegas with the drinking. I also feel like the alcohol is a little bit better there, because I try to get, I try not to get those Angry Orchards. I try to get the local hard ciders. And I always figure it's probably better than the, you know, because it's local from New York. I always feel like anything from New York is better than anywhere else. But yeah, it's not the best thing that I could be doing, but I also don't feel like it's the worst thing, in the sense of I am only 40 and I'm not planning on doing this forever. If this was my plan forever, of like, okay, for the next 10 years, I'm just going to go every other month and I'm going to drink for 2 weeks, and no. I'm more saying like this is probably like for a year or two at most. And hopefully it won't even be the drinking for that entire time. Hopefully, like, I feel like each trip I'm kind of like embarrassing myself with the karaoke makes me not want to do that again, you know, and things like that. You know, almost missing my plane makes me not want to do that again, you know. So and I'm someone that I do learn from my mistakes, sometimes not as quickly as I should, but I do learn at some point. And so, like, I'm not doing the same things I was doing a year ago jumping out of the car or whatever, like almost a year ago. But I really would rather not be drinking, but I'm also kind of like giving myself like a little bit of like wiggle room there of like, well, I am in New York, and it's like,
and also I think the some people, it's like they worry because when you drink you might like make mistakes, but it's one of these things where you,
I don't ever get too intoxicated with clients, if that's the question. My most intoxication occurs when I already know I'm done with work and I'm just gonna like go to bed. Because there's times when I know I'm like not working anymore, and so I am smart enough to not like ever over drink with a client. Because I know when I'm gonna get drunk. Like I'm pretty aware of it now. Like I used to not be, but I'm old enough now, and especially with the ciders, I can have like one or two. Much more than that, I'm gonna be drunk. You know what I mean? I know that. And so with a client, I would only have like one drink ever. It's not like most clients that I've ever had, at least, were not like throwing back drinks. It was like have a cocktail or something, or have a beer or something. Or a cider. They usually have the ciders actually at the bars. What was I going to say? The worst thing is that it is poison. You know what I mean? But people do it regularly, so it's not that insane that I'm drinking. I mean, it's so common there, but to me personally, I don't like to do things that are unhealthy to myself. So I do get frustrated because it's like, I'm kind of like, why am I enjoying this thing that's so bad for me? So that it's kind of like a conflict in my head. So the whole time I'm drinking, I'm a little bit beating myself up because I'm kind of like, why am I doing this? But then at the same time, I'm kind of like having a little bit of fun with it. But it's like, it's a tough thing. Yeah, back and forth. So it does create like kind of like this strife in my head as soon as I start drinking. Whereas before that, I feel really like proud of myself. And then as soon as I start drinking, I'm kind of like, why did I do that? And then I feel like I don't want to take my photos, and I don't, and I feel like more shame on myself a little bit. So I do know that there's going to be a point that I'm not going to want to keep doing that to myself. I mean, like I'm smart enough to realize I don't want to keep like going through this vicious cycle. So I just don't know if it's going to be this trip or the next or whatever it's going to be, but it is going to be one of these trips that I just go, okay, no more, Because like I said, I am smart enough, I am strong enough. I just have to like have the desire to want to not, you know what I mean? Like it's like, because I can easily just say if it made it a rule, okay, don't drink, Joy. That I can do. But this is more like I want to kind of like work through it myself of like why do I even want this stupid thing?
These guys might slip, like you have to watch.
You'd be surprised. You guys have a weird.
They're the ones who get the drugs.
Yeah, they're the ones that have. But you guys like, it's hard to describe my clients in New York, but these are not like in any way shady people.
Let's not get too much deeper.
No, but I'm just saying like these are like very high level. Like I mean, they're more worried, that you're gonna do something to them than the other way around.
Somebody said something about that.
Yeah, I mean it's never like, I mean, and most of them don't even think that. Sometimes I'm always thinking like, it's a good thing I'm an honest person because like they're just so trusting, some of them too, of like both ways. Like they, and some girls do take advantage there because the guys are, I don't know, and money isn't as big a deal, so they kind of just like, sure, so girls can really gouge the men there, and it can get crazy. So when I do see men, they will see me again because there's very few girls like me there. Because the girls there, because everything's expensive, and, it's hard to live there, so some girls really take advantage, and I never did, but that's why I couldn't be there forever, because you almost can't really be legit and live there permanently with this job because it is too much. Like you have to work too hard in order to live. Like that's why like a year's time I was done. Whereas that's why a lot of the girls just, take advantage and, don't show up or whatever. But if you are consistent and if you are, don't in any way scam or take advantage in any way, then they will see you over and over and over again. Like when I lived there, I had a client that would see me for 3 to 4 hours at a time for 3 to 4 times a week. And this is someone I still see when I go. He saw me twice. He doesn't now see me. Thank goodness. It's so exhausting, but it's a lot of money. Like, and he'll just keep seeing you. Like they'll just keep seeing you. as long as, you are consistent, if you show up on time, if you look good, so that's why I do have a pressure to look good, because people have been seeing me for years. If I all of a sudden show up like, and put on all this weight or look terrible, so they do have an expectation. But I have, my weight's changed quite a bit through the years, so there's different, they've seen me really too thin and then probably a little heavier, and then, they probably like me somewhere in the middle. But, yeah, there's just a lot of pressure, but when I get there, I think the pressure sometimes becomes a lot, so then I just kind of like drink, because then you kind of don't care as much, but then that's bad, because then I'm not caring as much about my looks, I'm not, so I get more upset about my lack of caring of like my appearance, because it is important in my job to keep my appearance up, because I am 42, so, not 42, I'm 40 also, so, it's funny as always, I'm 42. I am 40 also, which you don't bounce back as quickly, and you get more wrinkles, and like you can see I'm aging with not being as healthy. But I really hope in the next 2 weeks I can kind of get on as best health train as I can get before I
John says
embark.
you're very beautiful.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that, John.
I'm passing on the good comments.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I really want to be like as healthy as I can be before I get there. And so I was kind of hoping it'd be a little bit longer, but then when I think about it, like, stupid me, probably if it was too long, I'd probably like mess up, because I'd be like, oh, I got plenty of time to get healthy, you know what I mean, how we do that. So now it's almost like kind of kicking me into gear where I was like, oh man, I'm going 15 days. Like, I cannot mess up on my diet or on this alcohol thing, because there's no way I can be like, oh, I was drunk for the 3 weeks I was home and drunk for the 2 weeks. And I mean, I would just be a continual alcoholic, which I know you guys are like, well, you are an alcoholic, but I know, but this is me trying to make it work with my work and then with my life. So I'm like sober most of the time and only drinking occasionally for this when I go on New York work trips. And like I said, I really want to phase that out. But it's not going to get phased out by me just having like a rigid rule, because then I'm just going to like be irritated the whole time. Does that make sense? Like, I'm someone that, like, I want to know, like, I want to know why. And people go, oh, just because you're an alcoholic, but that's not acceptable enough for me anymore, because I can see that I have changed a bit. So it's like, no, I want to know, like, why this thing that, like, is toxic is so important to me. Like, what is it? Like, why can't I be this social without alcohol? Like, what is it that's causing this rift in my head? And I think it's the anxiety. So I might need some sort of medication for anxiety that might help with.
Do you ever want to get treatment in New York?
No. I really don't have time for that, but also that'd be a fortune. I mean, the VA is probably there, but no. You wouldn't get an appointment in time for that. But the weed really helps me here, and then I don't do that as much there, so that's not smart either. So I know that it's.
You did this job, majority of the job without alcohol.
Yeah, I did the majority of the job without weed or alcohol. So for the first year on and off, we were drinking because we were in Panama. But I remember my first client, I was fully sober. I didn't drink or anything because I wanted to be sober, and that was in Panama back in 2012. And that
it was legal.
It was legal, yes. But then I was a drinker at the time. But we were, even in Panama, we were still trying to be sober at times. So it wasn't just the entire year drunk fest, but it was a lot of that year. So once I started getting back into drinking, then I was drunk for most of my clients in Panama. But then as soon as I got to Vegas, I was we arrived November 26th, I think it was, around there, and then Christmas Day was the last day I drank in Vegas, and that's because I got wasted and don't even remember. Like, I woke up after Christmas, and like we didn't even get to exchange gifts or anything. We went out in the morning. I was going to see a client, and we had mimosas before, and then I had alcohol with the client, and that's like the last thing I remember. Richard had to like carry me and everything. So I got sober, and then we didn't drink again until 2016. So for like 3 years. And during that time, we weren't even doing weed or anything. It was no weed, no alcohol, nothing. We were just going to the gym. And we weren't even doing our crazy diet. We were actually doing smoothies. We were vegans at times. We were doing all kinds of different things. A lot of different things. We did Atkins. We did all kinds of different things. I was the squarest in this job. So I would show up like 15 minutes early. Everyone would be like annoyed, like I'm not even ready. I'm still in the shower, and it's always early. I was like, because I was like, I was like militaristic with this job, and I was super sober. I would not like even like clients would try to beg me to like go to drinks with them or go to dinner with them, and oh yeah, I had a threesome that I orchestrated with my friend, but I didn't know that she was going to show up smelling like weed, and I was so mad. Like, I was so mad that she showed up smelling like weed. I was like, how dare you? Like, this is disrespectful. It was at the Trump Hotel, of all places. Yeah. It was like, gosh, like 2016 or something. But, yeah, and, anyways, so I was so rigid, and some of my clients like that, the ones that were super rigid, but a lot of them were like, an uptight bitch kind of thing, you know? And I never drank, never did any drug, never weed, nothing like it, nothing. It's like, I would just go, and I could barely go out late night. It'd be like, I'd be available till like 11 p.m. And then after that, I'd be going to sleep, you know? Anywho, so the majority of the time I did this job, I've been sober. But this new going to New York thing is just, it's more about going to New York than about my job. As everyone keeps trying to say it's about my job, it's about me going to New York. Even if I wasn't doing my job, even if I was going on a vacation to New York, I would struggle with drinking in New York. But especially with my job. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just me going away on my own when I'm an alcoholic. That's like my advice.
How do you feel about psychologists?
Psychologists? I actually wanted to be a psychologist.
But how do you want to see them? Do you trust them?
I don't know. I've been to plenty. I don't need to do that right now. But I mean, maybe eventually if I want to ever get on any sort of anxiety medicine, but I hate medicine, so I don't know. Probably not. Probably try to stick with my weed. And then I eventually won't be going to New York, so it won't be, like, that does add stress. But like I said, even if I was going on a trip and it was not work related, I still would struggle with the thought of like being in a hotel room by myself. Like, if I was busy the entire time, that'd be one thing. Like, if I was working all day long and never had a second. But if I'm thinking, okay, I'm sitting in a hotel room and there's alcohol everywhere around me, and that's, like, my vice, and it is a legal vice, you know what I mean? So it's, like, if it was, like, an illegal thing, that would be an even extra, like, barrier or something. You'd be like, oh, you know, I'm not getting, you know, risk getting in trouble. But it's like, no, it's fully legal in there. You know, it's something that like everyone's doing around there, you know what I mean? So it's like one of those things that it is very, the temptation is very strong in New York. And I don't feel that temptation in Vegas. That's more the thing. It's not that my work related, because I work here and I'm sober, same thing. But it's being there by myself and being in New York City by myself. Like, if you sent me to BFE somewhere, I probably would do fine too by myself, but this is, you're sending me to New York City by myself. I don't know if you guys have never been there. It's like on every corner is like the best food, the best bars, the best, you know, restaurants. It's like every 2 steps outside your hotel in most of the places where the hotels are, you know, because most of the places where the hotels are pretty touristy. I mean, the only times you can really get away from that, and you don't get much away from it, but is if you're more in the like residential areas. But still, they still have, you know, a lot of restaurants, and you know, they got the little carts, and they got, you know, the bars still. But definitely the areas that are very touristy, oh gosh, I mean, it's just like bar, restaurant, you know, cart, you know, bodega, you know, whatever. It's just a lot of food and a lot of alcohol temptations. So, and they're always advertising like alcohol in every window. Like, I was literally the other day when I was there trying to avoid alcohol, and I was like just kind of noticing like that, like every single like store that I kind of like walked past, whether it be a bar or a restaurant or a little market, was advertising alcohol in some way. You know, even the stands on the outside. Or like, it was like advertising happy hour at all the bars I was walking by, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was like a burger and a beer or something for like a really good deal, and I was like hungry wanting a burger, and I was like, oh geez, just like everything you cross paths, and here I don't experience that every 2 feet that I walk, so it's just different. So it's less about my job, more about being in New York City by myself. Because when me and Richard were there together, like I did fine, because like I do fine with Rich, because not that he's like, doesn't let me do things. It's more just like I don't want to do things, and then he kind of keeps me accountable. Whereas he'll be like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" Because I'll usually ask him. I'll be like, "Should I do this?" And he'll be like, "Well, I mean, do you really think you should?" I'm like, but when I'm by myself, I'm just like, "Yeah, I definitely should," for whatever stupid thing. And even if I ask him on the phone, he's too far away. So it's like, even I'll be like, "All right, you're right," and then I'll go, a couple hours, and then I'll be like, forget it. I'm going downstairs, you know what I mean? So it's harder. Whereas when we're here, we have each other to like, it's like each other's energy and stuff. So that's why New York is hard for me. When people go like, do you like New York or do you like Vegas better? They're different in different ways. But one thing that's really hard is being away from my family and just being like kind of alone with myself and trying to deal with any of my personal issues or addictions all by myself in a city that just like breeds addiction, and I mean, good thing I'm not into drugs. People always think I am, but I'm not. But if like that city like is that way too, my thing is just the alcohol and the food. But the city, I mean, it's just that people just party there. It's just like this party vibe, and I am not really like a party girl. Like I'm kind of a homebody. But if you put me like in a city all by myself, there's this entire like energy. I don't know, like it's harder for me to just kind of like go to sleep. And also I can't really go to sleep because I want to make sure I'm awake for calls and stuff. So it's kind of like this conflict that I sit there and I go, okay, what am I going to do? Just sit here and like stare at the walls, or maybe go, get myself some hard ciders and kind of have a little more fun. But then it always kind of goes south in the sense of like for my health and looks, and usually I do something stupid to mess up the channel in some way. That seems to be the routine of what's happening. Like, we'll get the channel kind of like going good, and then go to New York and say something or do something offensive. So that's frustrating. But I wouldn't say I'm upset in any way about going. I would say I'm happy, but I'm also sad to like, I don't know, to kind of have to, I'm sad to leave everyone so quickly, and then to kind of have to go kind of just deal with all this once again. But I feel like, obviously, I kind of feel like this is not going to last for much longer, and that's kind of why it's all kind of like really quick now, like go several more times and then that'll be it. It's kind of what I'm feeling, more than like stretching it out for years. It's like, for like a year or two at most, and then I'm not saying my job, I'm saying like going to New York. Because then once Vegas picks up, because, I do still work in Vegas. I just worked last night. I mean, there is some business here. It's just not like New York. It's not the way Vegas used to be. So, but if Vegas ever picks up, then I won't be going to New York on any level. I mean, there's no reason for me to go to New York if Vegas has business. Like, and Vegas is just, it's just, this year they were expecting it to turn around, and just every event has just been a total, like they had the worst 4th of July. They're all mad because they're extending that F1, and they have to extend the F1 because it's the only thing making money, but it's like the most detrimental thing to the city, into the strip. But it's like they extended it for like, I think like for the 10 years or whatever, and like people just hate that. And then more and more people are coming and complaining because Vegas just is like ripping people off more and more and more, and it's becoming less and less fun. So it's like people that come, like even I honestly was busier a little bit post-pandemic than now, and they were thinking 2025 was going to be the year, but it does not seem to be at all. Like, and this is not just me. I mean, when you go down there, it's just like there's just no energy down there, and they're just so disappointed with the numbers that they're getting. And then they're bragging about that the crime numbers are down, but that's only because there's no people down there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, there's less of this and that going on. Well, yeah, because there's barely any people down there. So, like, of course there'll be less crime, but there's not really, like, something to brag about. But I guess you're trying to make the most of a crappy situation of, when there's no tourists, the crime probably does go down. I don't know what Vegas is going to do. I mean, they're really they're bringing in the A's, the Oakland A's. We just brought over the Raiders. But this is not really like, I don't know, the most of a sports town is trying to become that, but it was going to be about betting, but now that you can bet online anywhere, like that's actually hit Vegas even more than the pandemic is the online betting. Because people used to come from all over just to bet for every sports event. Like I used to have clients that came yearly for each event, whether it be whatever thing they were into, and some of them were into basketball and football and whatever, but they would come before the season started and place like a ton of bets. And then you have to return if you win to cash in your bets. I think it's in like 3 months or something like that. But now it's all online, so that took out tons of reasons why people used to come to Vegas. And then there's just so many less of like the bachelor parties or bachelorette. I mean, there's probably more bachelorette parties than bachelor parties these days. People are bringing like their families here, and so it's just not really that like sexy, fun, vibe. It's more like families and.
This is a Nunchuck channel. What's going on?
Oh yeah, we could go outside and do some nunchucks.
It's pretty hot out there, though.
Is it hot right now?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. Like, we could do some nunchucks. I did do
Nunchucks.
some push-ups on my own this morning, so I'm not going to do those. I did them actually twice today. I'm trying to do it because whether you guys are watching or not, because I can't always just wait for the blog. But I have not done my nunchucks, so let's do some nunchucks. Okay. That would be good. But I was proud of myself. I actually did do some push-ups on my own. I'm trying to get myself back in shape. That's what I'm telling you guys. It's a little bit of a process. It is hard when you drink for like... I know. He starts to kind of sense something's going on. Oh, excuse me.
Because I give him more treats when you're not here. When you're here, I don't give him.
No, he's a cutie. He minds. He loves me. He my baby.
You guys see the buddy?
He's the cutest. Let me get the nunchucks. Oh gosh. Oh, this is connected to something. This is so annoying with these headphones connecting
Hey, what's up, Rory?
to the other devices. That would be one nice thing when I go to New York is my headphones will stop connecting to all the darn devices. With our phones all being connected, every time I walk around here, I get connected to your
Rory's
device.
in the UK. Say hi.
Oh, hey, Rory from the UK. Okay, let me get my nunchucks. Yeah, I really like this new bag. It actually is like a Mary Poppins bag.
Oh yeah, let's do a little ad.
No, because look, I'm surprised how much I can fit in here, and I'm feeling pretty good about being able to look. I'm gonna show you guys. Check this out. Okay, you get that light over there if you could. I mean, it doesn't look really. So look at all these little things I have. So look at all this room I still have. So I'm gonna be able to fit at least 1 or 2 pairs of shoes, and I have to fit my purse. Probably just 1 pair of shoes. But look, I have this one. I have this one. I have this one. This one. And this one. And this one. I think that's quite a few bags. And then this tripod. And here's the handle. But look, like, I didn't know all these were gonna fit so well. This like seems bigger than I expected. Like, and then it's still got plenty of room because the other bag, these used to fill up pretty quick. I remember when I did the other one. This is actually making me very happy. It actually is like Mary Poppins here. You don't expect it to just like have so much room. I'm very pleased with this bag. And then all I need to put on is some shoes, probably 1 pair of shoes, and my purse probably, and probably like a sweatshirt in there. That should actually work. Maybe a handful of other things. But I was nervous because I didn't think all of those things were going to fit in there with the shoes. So I was actually pleasantly surprised. And then it's got like great pockets in the front where, you put like things that you need easily. Like I put my, I always put my, charger cord in the front and things like that. So great bag. I'm very happy with it. I know it's a simple just travel bag, but it actually, sometimes the simplest ones, the way to go, you try and get something new and different, and then you're like, there's a reason why they made them that way, because they weren't good. Like I used to always have ones like that, but I don't think ever that big. That one actually is good size. I'm very pleased. Very pleased. All right, let's go do some nunchucks. All right. Hi, Cappy. I know you're so cute. He likes to sunbathe. I tell Rich, you gotta make sure to leave them shades open a little bit because he needs to get his suntan. Oh, I don't even know what's going on with the Mets game. I don't know if it's over. I don't know what happened. We were watching it and then Rich turned it off. Put me on the screen instead. Hold on, you guys. Rich, can you follow me outside?
Yeah, I'll follow you outside. Hold on.
Hang on. It's hard to carry all this stuff. We got some bone broth stew. Alright, this ain't where I have to carry it. He's gonna take forever.
I'm coming. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, tomorrow. Hi, Gloria. Oh, yeah, it's not too hot. It's hot, but I'll do a little bit of. Oh, the hi, babies. It was trash day. Oh yeah, I gotta bring it in the recycling. It was trash day. It wasn't bulk day. I wanted it to be bulk day, not to go get stuff. I wanted to get rid of stuff. I love when it's bulk day, so we can get rid of more trash. So yeah, look at the sky. Up to the moon. The moon and the stars. Yeah, I did my push-ups, and it's too hot out here, anyways. I said, you know, I can't just do them on live. Gotta start getting this butt in shape. I'm about to go to New York City. Yeah, I leave in like 15 days already. I've only been home for a week, so I'll be home for like 3 weeks total, you guys. It's crazy. I'm actually okay with this. I'm like, all right. It actually kind of seems like that makes more sense than waiting longer for some reason. I'm like, all right, yeah, let me just send me right back. Than waiting till October. I mean, I was thinking October, but then I was like, that's like 2 months. You know, this actually is like, oh, this will actually be better. Because actually kind of doing the routine of it is kind of like easier. It's like, I continually going. I'm hitting my microphone here. It's hot out there. It's still pretty slow because it's hot. It's pretty hot. If I go last long.
I told you it's hot.
Yeah. Oof. I keep hitting the mic too. Getting things. Nunchucks. Don't get to do these in New York, so.
Enjoy it while you can.
Ah. Hot out here, that Monday service. Hot. All right, let's let you take over. This is you?
Me? Oh, no.
You and then you're taking over. I think I'm done. All right, let me
guys.
just, here, it's your turn.
Okay.
Just say hi.
Hello. 5 seconds. It's nice out today. I'm gonna go in now. It is hot. Take these. Great. Fantastic.
Doing it for your country and for the people who look up to you, but the thing is who you are.
All right. It is very warm, guys. It is warm, it is warm, it is warm. Okay. So. Now that we got that out of the way, Some people think that we should collab with the Thorpes when they come to town. What do you guys think? I don't know. Are you guys getting excited for the F1 at all? All right. I ain't got no soapbox I can stand upon, but God gave me a stage, a guitar, and a song. Daddy always said, don't you get involved in politics, religions, other people's qualms. All right, guys. I'll paint the picture, let me set the scene. When I have children, they will know what it means. And I will pass all these things my family's given to me, like love and understanding, positivity. We could. I know it's not quite the right group for that. Is there anybody still here in the room? I hope so. I hope so. A little tribute to Ozzy. BB still around. Trigger Man. You know, I'm old. Hell yeah. Yo, BB's still here. Good. And Adriana. I don't know, man. I still kind of like my theme song. I'm kind of like doing a cross between, like, it's a mix between T.I.'s What You Know About That and Jimi Hendrix, Hey Joe. I'm going to combine those. I'm going to mix it. And ultimately, it's going to be my ultimate theme song. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about, like, you know, like I'm talking when we're a silver screen. You know, like we got, like, when I got like a wardrobe budget and everything, and like props. Like I'll be riding in on a horse. I'll get my hat, and then we'll just kind of rock some tune. I mean, that's all it's all about. You know. You know, when I was a kid, that sound was like any sound that the guitar could make that was different and unique would blow us away, because we didn't like we weren't, they didn't have like CGI really coming out yet in the 70s. They didn't have a lot of like there wasn't a lot of like computer stuff. There wasn't like a lot of animation kind of to blow us away. So we had a couple things. We had laser light shows, amazing. And then we also had electric guitars. Because these things were the weirdest thing, because these are just magnets, you know what I mean? The whole concept that a magnet picks up this electric sound, and then if you overdrive it, you get a different sound. It sounds, instead of sounding like the Everly Brothers, it sounds like, you know, like AC/DC. You know, and then the thing was is that sound, I loved that sound as a kid. It blew me away. There's a couple songs that played it. There was one like that one. What's that one? I can play it on the piano. I don't know if I've never played on the guitar. Anyways, my angel was a centerfold. You know that one? Yeah. Hey, Joy! Joy! Hey, Joy! She must be playing with the bunny. So yeah, so my theme would go something like, I was gonna say, we'll watch the game and rewind and we'll watch it from the beginning. You haven't started it yet, have you?
No.
Okay, good. I figured you were. Okay. There's the wifey. I feel like this is broken. That would be the theme song. What do you think? What do you think, babes? Oh, let me get out of your way. Oh, pour that in my cup over there. Let me get this out of your way. Yeah. Cheers, everybody. We do seltzer water around here. So that sound, I love that. And the other sound I loved was when they do that. So it'd be like playing like a lead. Just like a, I know it seems so simple now, but back then, man, when I was a kid, it blew my mind away. It blew my mind away. I just got a Fender Kurt Cobain. No way! No way, man. You know, I had the, it wasn't a Mustang. It was a Duosonic. You ever hear of a Fender Duosonic? Right, probably not, because they made it in 1957. It was my dad's. And basically, the Duosonic was the precursor to Kurt Cobain's Mustang. It was basically what it was they made a kid version of. It was Duosonic because it had two pickups, like the Telecaster, but they made it a shorter neck. It was smaller because I guess my dad got it when he was in high school for when you like to learn when you're a kid. So like a 24-inch neck, and what happened is that they made the Mustang that way with a shorter neck, just like the Duosonic, and Kurt Cobain liked it because, you know, I mean, a lot of musicians like that guitar because they're small. You know, a lot of musicians have small hands, and the smaller guitar made it easier for them to play. Cool, you heard of it? We had it, we sold it, we had to sell it not too long ago. That's okay, because I got this one instead. This is an American-made Telecaster. I mean, it's 2018, but still, you know. I mean, obviously it plays better than the other one, but not much. I mean, man, I played that all through high school. I learned on that guitar. You have small hands, you know. I mean, the Mustang would be a great guitar for people with small hands. You know, I think that'd be great. Pink Floyd. I still love my Gibsons or Schecters. You know. Like I said, I primarily grew up on this. I got an Ibanez. Just what is that? Just their standard one. And always wanted a Gibson. Her stepbrother. Now her stepbrother was a real guitarist. He got a scholarship to MIT, which is the Musicians Institute. And as a gift, her parents bought him a Gibson Les Paul, like a real one, Not like the $1,500 one, like the $5,000 ones. I mean, I think that's what they paid then. I don't know what it's worth now. That was like 20 years ago. I mean, that was, or maybe not even that long, 15 years ago. He died. He died in a motorcycle. What a cool, I mean, Choice, I mean, hey man, listen, I mean, what a cool story. I mean, the guy played guitar, didn't take a lesson, just learned it, sent an audition tape in, got a scholarship to one of the best music schools. I mean, this is like where, I think, who went there that, somebody just blew me away. I mean, a lot of people, look it up, MIT in LA, but who went there is the, Kendrick Lamar. I think Kendrick Lamar went there. If not him, then it was the guy maybe Nas. If not him, then also the guy who was the guy that did that song, the one about the. Anyways, point is that a lot of cool people went there. He went there and then dies at 26. You know, unfortunately, you know. But anyways. But he had a Les Paul guitar. Every time I start jamming a riff on guitar, I just feel like a South Park character, like some old South Park character, and you go just like. I don't know why. I just feel so stereotypical, you know, like some old guy with a goatee playing a like guitar riff. Just playing the blues. That part. Because I got the blues, I'm so sad. And it makes me sad. But then it makes me glad to play. I don't know why. Alright guys, listen, it's been great. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I'm taking off. I'm going to go have some dinner. I just wanted to wind it down really quick. And we will see you guys on the flip side.
Baby, now you're gonna hear this one. Sun shining. Yo.
I don't hate players. I don't love the game. I'm a shot clock, way above the game.
Be point blank with you, the game.
I got all this work on me, I ain't come for play.
You can show the little shorties how you pump and bake.
The dog.
Not to death, I'm not impressed, I'm not amused, I'm not confused, I'm not to do. I'm a grown man business, I'm not in school. Put your hand down, youngin', this is not for you.
On my jail, my beats with the Kanye, yo.
Your name on the market, your name off the payroll. Style fresh,
Like I'm still a Dayo, and it's been like that since the Dayo.
On more time than a Rollie or Seiko.
Step on deck, your neck, or do what I say so. Get up or get out, get down or lay low.
Stand in the shadows. Open Jedi, I am Black Jedi.
Let's move. Shout out to my man Khalid Kweli. We on top. Shout out. Check it out.
Check it out. Slim Jedi.
Cast a big shadow.
Cherokee red to shoot the long arrow.
Got
More skill, more aim, and more ammo.
You can get it all from a big or small barrel like
Hail Mary, full of grace, Jedi.
Come and shoot up the place and make you pull up your face. The death.
I pull out the ace from the jungles of the Empire State where there ain't no escape.
247.
718, and that's like every night, every day. From the place that I settle insane. To the states, I'm collecting my pay.
Blast off and I'm back to the cave.
Hold it down for my family straight.
Represent in a family way.
Football, not for amateur play.
Billy Ross is an amateur stage. Before the president, the camera's raised.
Like a long-time man of the way, you understanding me straight.
Yeah, no doubt.
Excellence. And that's what it is, you see.
Cause it is deeper, richer, crisper, stronger reception, a sharper picture. Revolve around God and involve with Jedis. These elements I perform my scripture. I make Jedi read a classic modern figure.
It
Oakland.
don't matter if you holler or whisper. Coming through clear cause I'm right here with you. Ain't gotta edit the slang, I gotta get you. Yo, brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers.
The brothers, the leavers, the doubters, the believers, the stayers, the quitters, the bitches, the Jedis, the rapper gorillas, the getters, the village.
All gonna feel it from the first to the million. Extra, ordinary and plain.
I walk 1,000 paces a night ahead of the
Game, by the time you get where I stand,
I'll be gone. Y'all make moves, but I just move on.
When I move in, y'all must move along. Cause I move too strong. I know what my feet move for.
Made it go without a brand new car. Made it fresh without a brand new song. I can give a fuck what kind of brand you are. I'm more concerned what kind of man you are. What your principles and standards are. You understand me, y'all? Be good to your family, y'all. No matter where your families are.
Cause everybody needs family, y'all. Raise a hand if you understand me, y'all.
Everybody needs family, y'all. Be good to your families, dog.
Understand no matter where your families are. Everybody needs family, dog.
Raise your hand, you understand me, pa.
That's what it is, my man. My family, my pencil Pete, my man too.
All the loved one behind the walls. Daniel denied. Gregory Hedges.
Masada Malala, Sundara,
Magic Mel, life is real.
to all the real soldiers, to all the white people, to all the black people.
We all family, y'all.
Michael Friday,
TJ Lavin. Let it be bright.
Who is that? No way! Yeah! That's it. Okay, we're gonna keep that one. Alright, let's take.
Yeah, y'all. Turn me up a little bit.